Welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. The show will begin momentarily.
The internet is broken. Business models and site design are entirely geared toward advertising and not the reader. On today's internet, advertisements are distracting, invasive, and overwhelming. In Den, the primary objective is quality content. Instead of ads, you may occasionally see a boosted post where a user has risked value to increase its visibility. Just like any other post, you can upvote or downvote to help evaluate the relevance to your community. The more engagement a boosted post gets, the less the booster pays. Depending on the evaluation process, a booster can get up to 85% of their money back, if the post is well targeted and engaging. In Den, quality content is the primary objective.
Hi everyone, welcome to Super Happy Dragon Lucky. This is episode 85. 0x85 is the 134th episode. Nothing on this is going to be financial advice, but there'll be a lot of technical pieces that could be advice. This week on Number Go Up, people understanding the value of self-custody. I'm hoping we can talk about this in depth with more people on the World Blockchain Roundtable on Thursday, so watch for that. But there's an interesting thing that happened that with all of the goings on up in Canada with the truckers and the government and the crackdown that they've had. One of the banks asked a wallet company, a Bitcoin wallet company, to freeze funds, or that they wanted to prevent, lock them down, prevent them from being moved. And it was hilarious to a lot of people in the crypto world. But the interesting thing to me is this is the perfect situation where the actual intent of the technology is seen, and it's a little more easily understood by normal people. And you can even see that, Senator Cruz retweeted it. A lot of other people were retweeting it because it was funny. But the amazing thing about it is, I think in my opinion, this could be a big aha moment for a lot of normal people to realize what's possible with this technology. I mean, this is the financial side, and it's something that a lot of people were really not happy about with the way that charity money was handled, where people had donated to the cause, and all of a sudden they're getting doxxed and their accounts are getting frozen and worse things. So it's just a very interesting thing going on. And then another one popped up as well, where someone was at a law conference, and one lawyer was told everyone he's having difficulty subpoenaing the Bitcoin company, and how odd that is that people still don't know how the technology works and what it's all about even. So anyway, very important stuff. That's the number to go up. Self-custody and basically just actually owning your keys is an amazing thing. Almost certainly it's the biggest thing about blockchain, that it's abstract, but people should know. Anyway, next we go to Dragonchain updates. First off, there's a new blog on comprehensive ransomware protection products by Dragonchain. So go and read it. Please go and share it. On Den, vote it up, do all the things. But generally, this is about a structural approach, a really interesting approach to protecting people's data, particularly in hospitals and other large organizations that get attacked. That basically blockchain does have an answer for, and it's actually on the automation side and on the proof side, and also on some of the ways to prevent such an attack. But go read it. There's a lot of interesting things that can be done, and we do offer it as a product. And there are, there is interest out there, yet it's still abstract enough. I mean, we're just now hitting this. We've had this actually designed or we've been talking to people about this for at least a couple of years now. But this blog hopefully will help describe it in a way. We've learned a lot about how we can describe it and how it works, and what some of these organizations need. So anyway, go read it, go share it. It's a good article. And next, L5, that there has been a question on Den in the Dragonchain layer about a second Ethereum L5. And this was somewhat of a testing. It was a separate, it's obviously the same Ethereum network, but it was a separate L5 that we deployed in place and I don't know if it's still active or not, but we had it out there just to double check a couple of configuration settings and the clustering and its connectivity. And we've announced in past shows that we do have another L5 coming. So we'll reveal that at that time, and maybe we'll start doing that. But we have some better methods, and we're looking at making these more easily maintained, which was always the biggest issue with running the Binance chain when we did, or the Neo chain. So some of that will be improved and will be going forward. Okay, let's see here. Let's move to Den.Social updates. So the February 2022 LCP winner, there was a single proposal that won, is now live. It is the Metaverse Lair. Do go in there, subscribe to it. And if you have any lot for it, make sure you do check in and go vote on the governance issues. If they're going to change their banner, change their description, things like that. Or if you have lot, I guess you can propose those changes. There were 7.1 million lore committed to the Metaverse Lair. That's 70 unique voters. As a reminder, you don't need to export your lot to Ethereum. You can, if you want to, and all lot is connected to lore. So just having it at this beginning means that you will receive the matter rewards in mining from activity inside the layer, and you will be able to vote on governance issues and propose governance issues, both in the configuration or just in the miscellaneous votes that a group would need to kind of define its culture and what are we going to do on this layer. So anyway, there were also 2 more layers created per the runner-up option. The first was Texas with 942,000 lore committed and 30 unique voters, proposed by Jacob Wayne in October 2021. And the airdrops layer, which had 4.3 million lore committed and 61 unique voters, proposed by Angel Breaker on January 21. So alongside all of this stuff, we also have some updates for the Den DAO. That there is, of course, the new layer, Den DAO. There is, we have fully released the site-wide governance, and there have been a few votes, 3 of them that all resolved yesterday. So the first was the LCP modification that from now on until the site-wide governance changes it, which we could do at any point in time if anybody wants to, that there's a modification to the LCP to allow 2 unique voter proposals and 1 lore-based proposal to win each LCP, and that is so that we don't have the situation where it's always the same one that gets both categories. That we're at least going to get 2 with based upon unique participation, unique voters. So that'll be interesting, and if we don't like it, we can modify it even next month if we want. The second was the LCP runners-up modification. This is probably should be looked at as experimental. And it's a good indicator, because what we did is we said any layer proposal after the LCP is decided, any layer proposal that has at least 8 unique voters, and you can You can look at the list right now by unique voters and see how far that goes down. It's less. If I remember right, it's less than a third of all of them that currently could do this. But it would cost 2,500 matter for one of those to be created, and you would let's see here. We are open, like all of us have talked about it, and I say we, it's a DAO. So all of us that have spoken about it have thought, okay, what can we do with the matter? Is it something, do we burn that matter? Do we add it to the liquidity? What do we want to do there? So that's something that the governance board will have to decide. So we need to get in there and look at that. We also, at any point, if there are too many of them being created, we can decide to pull it back or to raise the limit on the number of unique voters required. So that's something we'll just have to all pay attention to, kind of talk about it, see if it's working the way we want it to work. One of the reasons that I was interested in this subject in particular was that too many people are clustering on the top. It's a horse race where people might be voting for what wins rather than what they actually want to see. And so this should hopefully spread that out a little bit and make it so that people will start putting lore, distributing lore based upon what they actually think instead of just, what's winning. So anyway, that's a big thing. And we'll see how it goes. And then the last is the feature development prioritization. And this is somewhat experimental. I mean, you can't split your lore. If you commit all to one option, and that is intentional from when we designed the system way back. And it's the same thing as in the layer governance. But you can now go in, and I'll see if Dave can do a demo of it tomorrow, especially with all of the numbers there and the graphics to kind of show people how to look at the current status. But one way or another, chat was the clear winner. So that would be layer chat, DMs, group chat. And that should be pretty exciting. The back end is mostly complete. We have to do a lot on the front end to make it usable. People have seen it in the mobile app for the layers, and it's not, there aren't enough features in there to really make it work well yet. So that's going to be the next. The second was matter lot trade or swap plus matter purchase. We grouped those two together. And that would mean that you would be able to actually, if you have a bunch of lot in a community and you want to broaden the community of owners, of people who are really driven to participate, then you can actually swap it for matter, and it's not like you only have the choice to tip it or to arrange something out on your own. So anyway, that should be exciting, very powerful, very interesting model for how we're going to do that too. Third, it looks like show consensus data, which basically after 8 or 12 hours that an eternal proof report, well, how do I say this? That after 8 or 12 hours, the consensus of that vote would be viewable. So anybody could then see, oh, it was heavily upvoted, heavily downvoted, because right now you can only see the total amount of energy in there. Then the fourth looks like the happy button. So that was a natural language semantic integration. I think I talked about it on one of the shows before, probably the governance show. So anyway, look into that. Check it out. It was the first miscellaneous vote in site-wide governance. It was the first big, with many options in it. And I think it generally worked. We are looking to get, just so you know, we are looking to get more info in the display, like say to show you a little more readily about what percentage of votes went into each section, and then also just the voter counts themselves. That hey, 5 people voted for this, 20 people for that, whatever else. So it should be exciting in the future, and we expect to run that last one, the priorities vote. either regularly or in the very least after or right before we release the whatever we're working on at the time. So when we're about to say, okay, we're about done with this, let's run through another round of it rather than just pulling down. And it kind of depends on timing. Sometimes it'll happen fast enough. We'll go through multiple of whatever the choices were. Okay. Next update, last update for Den is the 2021 lore farming balance allocation will be coming soon. We'll have a discussion so we can describe the state of things, where we can describe the most important things about this subject are how much lore was committed for the farming, or we call lore rewards in 2021, and how much was actually used. Because if people know we had committed the full 2021 and then we didn't get started until the last, I think, third of the year, the last 4 months, and so we cut the amount that went out so it wouldn't be some massive crazy amount. And then we also didn't get, we unexpectedly, we did not get the liquidity pools in place, so they weren't spent out. So there's a reasonable large sum of lore that was allocated to 2021 that we will now have to come up with some options for people to decide on. Do you put all of it into 2022 starting next month? Do you put it entirely, do we cut it, maybe put half of it into 2022 and put the other in 2025? We can decide. So we have to talk about it, and we'll have to have a vote on it. And everything is there now to handle the we do have to do a little more code, but everything is there to handle the liquidity side as well. So it should be should be a useful thing, a good thing. So let's watch for that, I guess, and we'll have an open discussion there. Next update, do tune in tomorrow for Coffee with Den at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Dave, he's been doing a lot of pretty good stuff, showing you how and what works and talking about why and everything else. And the next is that the Den governance call is weekly, every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Do look at the post in the Den DAO layer for the agenda. So if there's anything missing that you think we should talk about, put a comment in there, reply to it. We might have time even to get it added to the agenda. And do look, there is a link to join live if it's something that you'd be willing to come on and just discuss. It is more of a meeting than a show, so you shouldn't be intimidated, and you don't have to show your video or anything else, but it's more than anything so that you can get through things much faster verbally sometimes. So feel free to come on there and use that capability. It's a way that we have to make sure that meeting is open, public, recorded, everything else. So, okay. Next, we go to the Roundtable, World Blockchain Roundtable update. Episode 40 is this Thursday. The topic is Layer 1 blockchains. So please leave a question or topic on Layer 1s on the weekly post. Make sure you review all the other questions. Your question might have already been asked. But either way, vote on them, vote them up. The ones that you really should be you really think should be answered. Watch and share last week's episode now as well. It was on mining. It's actually really good content. There was some stuff in there that I didn't even know, that was really interesting stuff. We had a couple of great guests on that really brought some valuable content, in my opinion. It currently has over 1,700 views, and the more views it gets this first week, the more all the participants will get, including the people that provided topics and questions. Next, in the roundtable layer, the WBRT roundtable layer, lot holders can go and vote currently on March themes. It will end Wednesday, tomorrow, and this is how you get to decide. You get to decide which topics, I think it's 4 weeks in March, get covered. So we'll double check that. But either way, this is how. There are 5 weeks in March, so hopefully it's spread enough. It looks like we have at least 5, so we should be able to do that. Next, I guess that's all the updates. That's everything. So we have 3 AMA questions right after this.
Now, more than ever, our data is at risk. Our supply chains are in jeopardy. Our systems are broken, and businesses feel powerless. Dragonchain gives you a different way, a safer way, a better way, and you have power over your data. Dragonchain gives you proof in an untrusted world. Build now at Dragonchain.com, America's blockchain.
All right, we're back. So we refresh to see the AMA order. Look at all those tags. Stop tagging everything on everything. It's crazy. Anyway, we have, I think, a solution for some of that, because maybe some people don't understand that it's actually detrimental to post all of the tags. I mean, if you post tags that aren't actually the tags that are mentioned in that content, or at least or subject of the content, others are going to downvote those tags, and it's going to penalize your rewards for the day. So anyway, you shouldn't be tagging everything. We're hoping that everybody understands that, but not everyone sees everything in there. So okay, first question from Snapshot. Hey Joe, I was wondering if we could get an update on the NFT marketplace on Dragonchain. There seems to be a lot of interest in the subject matter from the community. Yeah, we have. Let's see, what kind of an update can I give you? Things are going well. We have a new partner to implement some pieces of it that they are probably much better ability to do a couple of things that we're wanting to do. We're trying to define a couple of things in scope on, what we build out first versus what, we want in the vision to have built out totally. And we have one of the projects that we're working on separately is hopefully going to be a big customer of the NFT marketplace. So we're trying to time a lot of that stuff too, and trying to see if we can't get something out sooner. And we have a couple more things we have to set up still. So anyway, on the tech side, it's going really well, and we think everything is going to be doable in a short period of time, but it depends on how we set up things. And we do expect it to be an interesting organizational structure, so it'll be interesting and valuable to take part. Anyway, so hopefully that's a good update. Next, Katzen. I know this is gonna be a topic you don't like going to, but feel like the community deserves some answers. Okay, recently Phil has made the entire project look like a joke. Now, everyone who's still paying attention, posting bold claims and predictions without backing them up. Let's see here. So we'll keep going on. I think he there was a situation where he got caught up in, I don't know if he was answering people's questions or if he was saying things and then people were asking questions. But I didn't like what I saw or how it was handled, and the you have to be careful. And he hasn't been in the crypto world like a lot of us have for so long, and there are certain things that, for example, I won't go into. I won't make bold claims about even the quantum tech that we use, because that's not my field. That's something I would defer to Dr. Al. I would go ask Dr. Al, and I would be very precise about the language, because the crypto world, and especially the security world, for security specialists, is extremely picky. Your semantics have to be correct. You can't say things that you don't understand, or you're going to get, you're going to just get trouble and drama. So we have updated our social media policy. As a result, we probably needed an update anyway. We had one in place since, I believe, 2017. It might have been 2018. I know we put in a very direct complete. And we've had to discipline people before based upon that policy. And we've never had anyone intentionally doing anything wrong with the policy, but sometimes people, get caught up and it's emotional. So that's a lot of what that was, if you want to know the truth. And I think, that there were some crossed wires and I don't know, it's generally unfortunate. I agree. And, it should be fixed, and, that won't happen again. So there you go. Next, Angel Breaker. I guess the metrics don't really reflect the current usage. When can we expect metrics to be correct again? We don't know this. In fact, we've been busy with two other very important, billable projects. So they were higher priority, but I think that at least one of the systems that we know of, at least, is not connecting, that the metrics are not there, and we are not certain why. And that's something that the devs know about. And as soon as they finish up a couple of the things they're working on, they're going to go into it, because the metrics are obviously not even including what we know is going on in Den, which is the most open and obvious set of, that at least so many posts have been made in a day, every one of which would have at least one blockchain transaction. We know the number of votes and how much energy has moved in a day, which every vote, every tip, every content post, every change request, every governance issue is a transaction. The votes on the governance issues are transactions. The energy votes on the governance issues and any of the other content are all transactions. So we know that there are more transactions than are showing. And sorry, we just haven't. We're right in the middle of this weird place where we're trying to get a few things moving forward and still keep everything running in the background. That what I would call the side systems. This metric system was an add-on after the core was released, where we needed a way to answer people without them needing to ask about customer data, which we don't have access to. So this was the way to say, okay, the network can report on its own metrics, but because it's a separate system, it doesn't always it's not always going to report to everything, because you could detach one of the systems, or they could inadvertently become detached. So anyway, that's that. That's 3 questions. All of you will get one lot in the Dragonchain layer. And we should probably, you guys can start thinking about this, but maybe we can use that layer to help organize some of what Dragonchain's doing too. Either initiatives or different product things, or just different decisions, even potentially even the priorities. Which thing should we work on? Which thing should we do next? Anyway, okay. Now we're going to go to merch. There is New World Blockchain Roundtable merch, WBRT. You can see here's this one, right? There are shirts, there are hoodies, there are stickers, multiple colors, and we start even giving some of this away on the show there. You can also go and get Super Happy Dragon Lucky, and you can get Mars shirt, Number Go Up shirts, all that type of stuff. So go check that out. There is a special still until the end of February on the Dragon Energy Equals Love, the post that an intern was fired over back in the days way before Chad, and related to Kanye and Trump. So anyway, controversial tweet, and go do that. It's 20% off. Dragon Love 2022. That's all the updates. So in closing, make sure you watch us again next Tuesday. Make sure you like and subscribe and share and all the rest of the things to get the message out. And also Thursday, watch the roundtable. Go in there and make sure you get some good questions asked, because it should be a pretty interesting subject, especially given Dragonchain and level 1, level 2 mechanics in the blockchain world. interesting subject because it's basically just one level of what we described all the way back in 2014. So we knew this was needed back then. And it's funny that some of our semantics have lined up and some of them haven't, but it's hard to do that far ahead of time. So also follow Dragonchain, Real Denizens, and me, Jojo Rowe, and like, comment, share. That's it. Thanks, guys.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable if this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.